Hi everyone, welcome back to TVI, episode 257. Fucking lots of podcasts. Sunday night we're recording this, just about to turn 9 o'clock. I'm missing Wolf Hall for this, mate. Have you watched Wolf Hall?
Oh, no.
Mate,
No,
that shit
have you watched
it's
Rivals?
I haven't. I like the look of it though.
Yeah, it's good.
Is it?
You get into it.
It's got Danny Dyer in it. I like the look of Danny Dyer in it. Yeah.
He is quality in it.
I think he's a decent actor, man. Like,
He's
I think
a great actor, man.
What sort of, like, I think got it in people's heads, like, you know, like there was.
He was
it was
hamming
such
up the Cockney geezer too
yeah.
much. When
Like, do you remember
90s?
Human Traffic? Him in the toilet in Human Traffic, you know, shouting down the phone. I think it put a lot of people off early doors. I've always quite liked him. I've never really watched EastEnders much, but when he was in it, anytime I'd sort of swing past, he seemed all right.
Him and you know the girl that was in IT Crowd, the redhead girl.
Oh yeah, she's wicked, man. I've forgotten her name.
She's fucking I mean, she's amazing in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to big it up too much, but she really captured my heart.
You're in love.
Her and Danny Dyer were great, man.
I imagine it's quite a different tone to Wolf Hall. Wolf Hall is one of the most slow-paced period dramas, man. But it's so dark and there's so much shit going on. It's like sort of like, yeah, it's quality, man. And it's and Mark Rylance plays Thomas Cromwell. And Mark Rylance is like, you know, he's renowned the world over as one of the best theatre actors this country's produced in the modern era. But now he's It's on BBC. It's a BBC drama. It's and it's just so the first series came out, I'm going to say 6 years ago or something, and now we've just started the second series. They gave it a bit of time between the two, and it's about Henry VIII.
Don't give things a great chance if it's a bit slow at the beginning.
Oh man, this is slow throughout. It's literally I'm 8 episodes in, and it's so slow and just it's just
3 pieces of dialogue.
No, I mean, there's a fair bit of quiet in it, but it's just so light. It's beautifully shot. It looks like a fucking like Renaissance painting. The whole thing is just, and the actor Damian Lewis plays Henry VIII, and he's so good. He's got this ability to be like, one moment he's quite sinister and kingly, the next moment he's really fragile and naive, and you almost feel a bit sorry for him. So it's just really well done.
It's about Henry VIII and his wives and all that, is it? All that story.
It's about this. So the first series is basically about the Reformation, about when he managed to get the annulment, or basically just split from Rome and got the annulment so he could leave his first wife and marry Anne Boleyn. That's it. The whole first season really, and it ends with what happens with Anne Boleyn and how that turns out, and then it's just it.
No spoilers.
No spoilers,
Does
everyone.
She die?
She dies horrifically. Yeah, man. But it's well entertaining, but it's also like
Henry
it's a harrowing.
VIII's got to be the most like written about royal, isn't he? For some reason, it's because he has had all those wives and started.
Well, I think because of he oversaw such a big period. Yeah, that Reformation was a massive thing, wasn't it? And then he was also the
he started the Church of England, basically, didn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't really called that then. Though I think it was Elizabeth I was when that sort of started happening. It was his daughter. So I think, but yeah, he was the one who started the schism with Rome.
So our Queen Elizabeth was his granddaughter.
No, I mean, that would have been great. I don't even know if they were the same line. They might not have even been related. There was probably some relation along the way, but no. I mean, that's like 500 years, man. You know, it would have been great. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he was like Tudor.
How old do you think she was? Yeah, he was the first Tudor king, wasn't he?
Like, I thought it was her dad.
Anyway, it's a big recommend. Everyone watch Wolf Hall. Don't matter, like, you know. I reckon some people might not like it because of the style, but I think if you've got any
too slow, guys,
media literacy,
our maths Married at First Sight WhatsApp splinter group for some real entertainment.
So this week you've been cancelling gigs left, right, and centre, mate. You've been ill and
only cancelled one gig actually.
Really?
Yeah,
we cancelled one. A gig we were meant to be doing together.
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
pretty sure you cancelled it when I was en route. Yeah.
No, I did a COVID test, and the next day I did. I don't know. I think it was a dodgy test. I felt like shit though, so
You still got COVID tests?
But
What?
yeah.
Just knocking around the house?
I've got them here, yeah.
What, are they not out of date
then
or
I did-
something? Don't they run out? Don't they go out of date?
I think it's well out of date, yeah.
Yeah, yes, that's it, mate. It's probably told you you've got fucking like syphilis or something.
It did say that, yeah. It said I've been dead for a year.
So what? But you were in hospital.
It said I'm pregnant. But I did. And then I did, yeah. But so I went into surgery. I'm like, I make it sound so much more than it was, but for
on the
some
WhatsApp,
reason,
man, you were bigging it up a bit.
I was on. I was high, I think, at that point.
I mean, yeah, your messages for about 4 hours after the surgery, man, you were just flying.
Oh shit!
Proper. No, not in a bad way. It's just you sounded like, you know, you were pretty freewheeling with the chat. You know what I mean? You sounded like somebody who's ex-alcoholic who just got on the heroin, mate, which is exactly what it was.
You know what? It did remind, because I rang Verity, my daughter, and told her how much I love her and all that.
Oh,
She's
man,
like, okay,
amazing.
Okay.
Fuck.
So
what is it?
You get all
So hang on.
sentimental, and
Yeah, it's embarrassing, isn't it?
I was out
But
my
tell-
nut,
so-
man.
But so what was the actual operation? What did you have done?
It's called a lipo something. It's not liposuction, but
You
it's
got all the because you're a bit.
got all the fat
You
taken
put on
out
a
of my
bit of
dick.
fucking bit of Christmas weight on, mate. You had to get it sucked out your hips.
And they're down to 0.1% body fat. It's called it's not a liposuction. It's just it looks like a hernia, but it isn't one. And then they just removed it. I didn't really
Right.
have to have it done because it wasn't causing pain. But
Right,
the doctor said, "We'll do it." I just had such a result at this private hospital. I was like, "All right, then."
Yeah.
And I wanted it gone really anyway.
Because is it one of them things that could turn out to be an issue if you don't do nothing?
Not even that. It's just I don't know really. Not
Just had a pointless
particularly.
operation.
They don't even do these operations at that hospital. He just let me have it. He says, "Look, we'll do it." It was just a really nice doctor.
Yeah.
And then he booked me an appointment. And as it was coming up to it, I thought it sounded a bit more serious. Like I had to have general anaesthetic and all this stuff.
General,
and
man.
then
Yeah,
I was
it's
properly
not bad though.
like, out my
General,
nut.
like they always act like, you know, they always give it all the thing of like you need someone to take you home and all that. Within about half hour of waking up, you're fine. I think, you know, I've had generals enough times. Don't get me wrong, I've had some ones where I was wonky, man. When I had my wisdom
I
teeth
was
out,
a
I had
bit
3
wonky,
wisdom
yeah.
teeth out.
They were saying that I had to have someone stay with me overnight, and I was like, yeah. I was thinking, no.
Yeah, just get a
And then
brass in.
they said, "Where's the person picking you up?" I said, "Oh, they're in the car park," and I just walked home. I just like walked through the car park.
Oh man.
Like a skate. I felt like I was rebelling, but I didn't need it. I'm only like 5 minutes up the road. I just walked home, man. It was easy.
Yeah, that's fine. And
But the fentanyl was
but-
strong as fuck, man.
so how long did you feel the effects of that? Because obviously, is it actual fentanyl, not morphine?
It's actual fentanyl, yeah. Like
They told you.
They said, yeah. I said fentanyl, and I started to talk about like Skid Row, and I was just chatting with them. Sam.
You think you're going to just end up in a tent in San Francisco?
Yeah. I was having quite a laugh.
Just with your trousers down at a traffic light, just shouting at someone.
Just had my hernia done. Yeah, I was surprised when he said fentanyl, and then I started to. It was only when I was so I'm in the room for a while. I get in all the scrubs. It's like you're in a hotel. This hospital.
I know, you've got to wear that
All these
creepy
perfect
gown with your
scrubs and,
bum
like,
out.
Yeah, but you put 2 on, and then
did you go
like,
front
I
and
had
back?
These, yeah, you know these socks that are tight on the calves for deep vein
I remember I had those as well.
and also the socks that grip the floor, like on top of those. So I was all kitted out, and then they take you downstairs, and you're laying. They insisted on wheeling me down in a bed. I said I can walk.
Yeah.
They were like, no, they had to have me on a bed, so they're wheeling me down.
Yeah.
I just felt weird. I weren't even ill or anything.
Yeah.
Just getting treated like a king.
Yeah, man. You feel,
but
but
then
I know it's weird, but you do feel like, you know, when the 2 times I've been in hospital this year, once when I had my stomach problems in Australia, and that was serious, man. But the second one was when, like, after I had my colonoscopy and endoscopy, and I went in on hospital, like, because I got like the most violent vomiting a few days later, and like, it's weird, like, you do feel so like safe and well looked after in hospitals, man. They're so, you know, you feel quite sort of.
I have been in one once in like 2011, I think it was. I had, they don't even know what was wrong with me, but they kept me in. I was fucked, man. They still don't know. They didn't really know. Like my blood, my blood was really high. I weren't really listening.
Your blood was high?
There was something, my blood was stoned. But there was some count of my white cell count, or I don't know what it was, but it was just crazy. So they kept me in. But that was really horrific night. Their treatment was bad, man. But this was nice, man. I was just like in this big operating room. It was a massive room, and I'm like right in the middle. Just this really nice hospital.
Yeah.
And then they were showing me, "Oh, you're gonna have some painkillers." I said, "What is it? Is it morphine?" He said, "It's fentanyl."
Ooh.
And I was like, "Fentanyl?" Because I've just been watching like Skid Row documentaries about it for like about a year. and then I said, started to talk about Michael Jackson, and he said, "Oh, he didn't die of that. He died of this." And he showed me what else I'm having, which was like a general anaesthetic. Which was a general anaesthetic, and I'm like, just bang it in, man.
Fucking
and then I tried counting to 20, and I'm like saying goodnight to him. I'm going, "No, sleep tight," and I'm just like,
that feeling of when they put you out, man. It's insane, isn't it? Like I remember in Melbourne having it.
It's like tingly up your arm, innit? And then you're just done,
you
bro.
feel it. It's like, and then
there's no fighting it.
It's just it's a release.
And then the next thing and then I'm waking up. Like that is literally like, and then I'm waking up, and I'm feeling great. Man. I'm chatting to them all. I'm telling them how amazing the hospital is. No one's really as enthusiastic as me.
Yeah.
They're not really giving me the same energy back. They're probably used to it, aren't they?
Yeah. And so what, you were just on the dose of fentanyl you were on in the aftermath, that was it? You ain't got any, you didn't get any sort of takeaways?
They give me some codeine to take away, but I'm not going to do it. I don't really need it.
Nah, man. It makes you
hurting,
constipated as well if you have too much.
Yeah, they give you like a
laxative.
That? Yeah, they give you laxative with it. I'm not going to bother, man.
Just take the laxatives.
A cut pain to me isn't that. I'm tempted to do it a little bit, but like a cut, like a cut pain when you're cut. It hurts and stuff, but I feel like it's not. I don't know. That ain't my worst pain. I can handle that kind of pain.
I agree. Like
it's
there's some pains. Yeah, it's like dentist. Like I can deal with discomfort at a dentist. I've had times where I can sort of feel the pain over the anaesthetic, and I can deal with it because I can compute it. When I had my tattoos and things, like the pain's absolutely fine. It's not painful really. It's sort of it's a constant numbing sting. Like, but there's some pains I don't think are that bad. But then there's some other ones where you just feel like I'm going to kill myself if this doesn't end now.
Like if you're feeling groggy or like your whole body like a virus, that's horrible, isn't it? Like,
yeah. That's what I mean. There's things way worse than just general, like a bit of pain in a diet, especially when it's distinct pain.
Pain's all right.
When I broke my arm, that pain was numbing and sore and hard, but it wasn't like, it was totally manageable. Like
yeah. As long as you don't.
I'd take that over kicking the fucking door frame with your little toe, you know what I mean? That sort of absolute end of the world agony.
I keep some fentanyl by all my door frames in case.
A little capsule, like the old cyanide pills. I get one under my tongue just in case I hurt myself.
Bottom of my lip. Like Hitler in Tower of London. Like the Nazis.
Oh, man.
Just pop that cyanide pill. If I tread on any Lego.
Oh yeah, you get a paper cut and just crack that back to the fake back tooth.
Like that guy in court. Have you ever seen that? He did that in court.
Oh man, didn't he down the thing? Didn't he do a shot of? Oh, did he? Wasn't there one who did a shot of poison?
He snuck a pill out of his It might have been, I don't know, but he just died.
It's pretty gangster. It's a gangster way to go, man. Just kill yourself in front of people.
Hell.
In a court, obviously, there are other ways of doing that, and it's horrific, and you're going to traumatise people, which he did, but he was in a very distinct...
Was he a politician or something when he just put a gun in his mouth and blew it out on live TV? Do you remember that?
No.
I don't know if he was a politician.
I presume in America it wasn't on, like, GMTV in the UK.
He was on This Morning.
5 minutes of talking to Eamon Holmes, and he was like, fuck this, man.
But someone did blow their head off on live TV.
They shot themselves on telly. Fuck,
man. Just boom. I don't know if it was a politician. I can't remember. I'll try and find
grotty,
it.
Man. No, you could find it in your saved
in my
items.
Archives.
Your wank bank.
It's probably in my YouTube history.
But yeah,
oh mate, the difference though in having a nice hospital, having a bad one, it's like fucking. It's lovely.
Well, it was sort of, you know, when obviously when Twyla was in hospital, we were in St George's in Tooting, which is a great hospital, but you know, obviously it's ward dependent, and she was in. Like the paediatric wards are really nice, obviously, because they're for kids. They have to sort of slightly, you know, make it a bit easier going because, you know, kids can't deal with it as well. And our room we had was amazing, man. And like, you know, because obviously it was meningitis. Like you know, it's technically an infectious disease. So obviously you get your own room. You're not just like curtained off from anyone. We had our own ensuite room. It was amazing, you know. We didn't take advantage of the food because we wanted to sort of, you know, that sounds horrible, but, you know, I do think that is one thing that is a bit of a stereotype that is semi-true. Like I looked at the food options and they're pretty, you know, it's very basic. So, you know, we were ordering in, but like, you know, other than that, it was fucking amazing. Like the service and the help and like just the constant was like out of this world, man.
They know their stuff, don't they? The docs in England.
Yeah,
like
it's weird that, isn't it?
Like,
then people that have studied for like 12 years. So
they're quite smart,
onions.
Aren't they?
Yeah, man. It's
I didn't even see the surgeon actually, like, because I went out and I woke up and it had been done, but and I was like saying to him, "You come in like Batman. I didn't even see you." Like I was being all like fucking loud and like fentanyled up. But I think they are used to that, aren't they? They're like. They must be used to it, like a nightclub.
I've seen
bouncer,
loads of videos.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen like? There's always videos that go viral of people waking up from general anaesthetic and like crying about funny things and talking mad shit. There was one woman like who was crying because they took her in surgery. They put her like a hat on her, like, you know, like a sort of almost like a shower cap, just because she had longish hair. And they took it off, and her friend's filming her, and she's crying, going, "They took my hat." And then she cried until they came and gave her a little shower cap back on. It's just really funny, man. Anyway, but there we go. That's our little roundup. You've had surgery. You've been on the smack. Let's do some questions. Let's do some questions from our patrons. If you want to join Patreon, go to patreon.com/weareTVI, where you get full-length episodes, mate. You get to watch all the vids when they're up on YouTube. Good stuff. There's loads of so many old bits,
WhatsApp
extras.
Groups. There's bare splinters now, isn't there?
Yeah, man. And join the WhatsApp groups. You can watch see the one we did the other week where we talked about the American election that people got annoyed about. You know, there's some good extras in there, man. Let's do some questions from our patrons. Ooh, this is what's the worst piece of advice you've been given and followed? Normally people say what's the worst bit of advice you've been given, but this is one you've actually followed. I don't know.
Yeah, once my bank. Do you remember when banks were charging all the time, and then suddenly there was some court ruling you could get it all back?
Man, I got a big chunk of money back.
Yeah, they offered me
$4,000.
Yeah, they offered me a couple of grand, but it wasn't 100% of the charges, and there was still a few £100 over, and I'm like, nah, I'm playing hardball, and I got advice off this website, and they were like, nah, man, if they're gonna give you that, they're gonna give you it all, and it weren't even that much more, and I wrote back, they sent me a check, I just didn't cash it. It was
You
it was
nutcase.
£1,400 actually, but I wanted like 2,100. So I definitely 100% should have took it. And I went
And you
to
got
court
zero
and
in the
stuff.
end.
I got 0.
Did you get 0? Oh man, that is
Zero.
unbelievable.
I went to
That's
court
well
in
funny,
Croydon
man.
Court, and I was thinking, it'd be easy. I was thinking I've been to court before, like I've seen Ally McBeal, and I went to court, and the other lawyer, they were just chatting, the judge and the lawyer, man. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And in the end, I'm asking the other lawyer for advice, like, mate, what about like? And he was on the other
side. Monkeys is a shithead. Yeah. Mad.
So, like, I
The
didn't
only
even
one
have
I
a
can
lawyer,
think
and they
of-
just give me nothing, man.
The only one
That's
I can
the
think of
worst
like that.
advice.
And I don't know if I've mentioned this ever on here. It's well embarrassing, man. But just when I was when I was pre-comedy, I think I'd started Open Spots, but I was working in an office, and one of the guys I worked with was like a bit of a nerd, man, like proper. You know, he weren't in the IT department, but he knew loads about computers. He built his own computers at home and all that, and he was always sort of just like talking about nerd things. And he this was when smartphones first.
Robbed him.
But this was like the dawn of smartphones. Like, do you remember when you first got WAP on a phone? Like your moody little Ericsson had WAP, and you could check an email and stuff like that, right?
Oh,
And you had
yeah.
really basic web pages you could look at on phones. When
Yeah,
that
yeah,
started, he was like, "There's going to be a gold rush for web domains for mobile phone friendly websites." So he said, obviously most websites are .com, .co.uk. He goes, but they're going to have. He was like, "I've been told there's going to be like you have to have a distinct mobile phone one. So if it was, imagine you went to google.com, if you're on your phone, you'd have to go to google.mobi, M-O-B-I. He was convinced of it.
Okay.
And he said to us, so, word on the street is, if you want to make some money, buy up loads of .mobi domains, and then sit on them for 10 years, and then you'll be able to sell them for loads of money. So I bought loads of porn-based domains. Like, you know, I bought like sort of sex.mobi and, you know, sort of barely legal.mobi. I spent loads of money.
Paedophile.mobi. P Diddy
Jailbait.
Party.mobi.
Jailbait.mobi. But I just had, so I bought loads. I bought about 30 of these fucking domains, and they weren't expensive, you know what I mean? But I spent like, you know, whatever it costs to get it, and then within about 2 years of technology changing and when WAP got better, every website you could just get to normally, you get to google.com on your phone. The Mobi thing was an absolute sack of
trying
shit.
to sell them on the street.
Yeah. Trying to sell felching.mobi on the black market.
Why don't you just list them all in your bio and someone might want them?
So yeah, that was one of the worst bits of advice I've had, and I totally just bought it, man. Because I trust anyone like that who just knows about tech. I'm just always like, oh yeah, it sounds
I mean,
legit.
it was a gamble. He wasn't silly, was he? He kind of, you know, nobody knows, do they? Like,
No.
you know, it's like the Bitcoin thing, or like
Yeah.
no one actually knows for 100%. But he was on to something, but it was just the wrong thing he was on to.
Yeah, definitely. There we go. So let's do another question from James. Hypothetically, which comedian is most likely to have been at the P. Diddy party? I mean, hypothetically, obviously, it leaves us, you know, a little bit of grey area legally, but like, I would say, I mean, in terms
People
of
are
surely,
saying,
Russell Brand
one-
surely was mates with him and did films and things. So he's got to be like,
with who?
you know,
with with P Diddy, did he?
Russell
P.
Brand.
Diddy,
He did.
did
Well, he was in Getting to the Greek with P Diddy, and like they were mates.
P.
It was like
Diddy
this
in that, yeah.
They were hanging out all the time. Yeah, it was really. I mean, and obviously you've got to separate the artist from the art, but I thought he was really funny in it. I remember watching that film and thinking, this is like, it's a bit of crap, but it's fun, and I enjoyed. I thought Russell Brand was good in it, and I remember quite enjoying it in a sort of, you know, guilty pleasure way. And then
don't know if
obviously
I've
now
seen it,
it's
actually.
aged like milk, but. Yeah, so Russell Brand must be definitely like, he would be, you know, sort of on the list of
I
people
mean,
that potentially, hypothetically
Kevin Hart,
could.
allegedly, they're throwing that name
Right.
around, aren't they?
Are they? I don't know. I've not followed any of it. I know we've sort of touched on it, but I genuinely don't really know much about it. I've not really been too online in the last 6 weeks. I don't really know what the vibe is.
Beyonce, all that lot apparently, but who knows, man? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, it's like we've talked about it before with like Epstein, and whenever you hear about all these things, like, Epstein was a billionaire broke, like, he knew everyone. There's going to be people that were pedos who were with him, and they're going to be people that were just businessmen who just they all hang out in the same circles.
The thing is with Epstein, though, like the hedge fund, like there's top guys who are hedge fund managers that don't rate him at all as a top hedge fund guy, and that's where he allegedly got his money from. So it doesn't really make sense. Like, he was worth about 600 million, and he owned an island. Like, and he had a lot of his contacts with like the Saudi royals to like top politicians, people running the world. It's almost like that island might have been set up just to get people on camera, and then you know what I mean. It's a good little business, isn't it? We
should do it. Yeah, we should
do one for Circuit Comics.
Pedo
party.
Island. I've got a little gig on a little island off Scotland. Do you want to come and do it? And then next week, just get that camera.
Send loads of young naked people in there and take photos, and then just bribe them. If ever I want a gig. Yeah, you're not doing Glee this weekend. I'm doing it. Yeah, I need a double pull out of Oxford Glee.
This is a question from Martin, right? And I think it's because there was some discussion on the group. I feel like I sort of saw it, but then I was tied up. Martin says, you get a DNA kit for Christmas, are you actually going to use it? Now, we've talked. I'm sure I've told before. I've done one. I got given one. So me and Hannah got given one as a gift by my mother-in-law, and we did it. This was like years ago now, and we sent it off, and now I think they've just got my DNA, and I've started getting messages. We've talked about that, and I get the odd like hint and message from people just like thinking, "Oh, I think we're related," and I'm like, I ain't replying to this fucking shit. You know what I mean? You be related to who you want, mate. I don't need new family members.
So basically, your DNA goes on their database, then people can contact you.
I've got a feeling I can probably remove myself, but I haven't logged in. I just get like, because it must be still on the mailing list. I'm really bad at unsubscribing, so I just get emails saying from ancestry.com saying you have a message, and I can see a little bit of the message, and I just delete it, and I've never actually logged into Ancestry to read the message. You know what I mean? So I'm on there, you know what I mean? They've whacked me on there after I sent them my saliva.
I'd do it. I'd probably do one anyway, you know what I mean? Like, why not?
Yeah. So I suppose people were worried, but I think that was the chat in the WhatsApp group that I gather. Some people were saying, like, imagine you're 50, whatever, 40, 60 even, like, do you want to uncover things? Are you at a point where sometimes ignorance is bliss, isn't it? You don't want to find out people had extra fucking siblings, and some people don't want to know, and I totally respect that. I think it's nice sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair enough. They don't want to fight. There's no point in finding out your dad isn't actually, or your kid isn't your kid that you've loved for 25 years.
Oh man, that would be the killer.
Yeah, because it wouldn't change. It's always like it wouldn't change your love. I don't know. It's such a weird one, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everyone would deal with it differently. You'd hope. I know it sounds mental because this is such a hypothetical situation, but imagine 20 years down the line you found out one of your kids, whatever, wasn't yours. You know, you would hope that it wouldn't. You still raise them as your own, and that relationship is there. You know, it doesn't. Yeah. It suddenly doesn't get negated by what happened. But I do think that there would be some serious fucking trauma coming from that, and you'd need some therapy, man.
Yeah, my mate. I've had a couple of mates actually. It wasn't actually their mum; it was their nan that they thought was their mum.
Oh, that was a common one.
I've had two mates like that. Yeah.
Just back in the old days when all them sexy nans were running around, all them lovely sexy grannies.
I actually knew before my mate knew because our parents were friends, so I knew.
Yeah.
But he didn't know. That's weird, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, that is weird.
Like his sister was his real mum, and she lived up the road.
Oh shit! But he didn't know. When did he find out? What age was he when he found out?
Maybe like 13, 12, something like that. When I told him.
That's a trick.
Really.
But that's when you cussed him out at school about it.
We was having a cussing match.
Bruv.
That was my ace card.
Your mum's your gran. Fuck off.
Your mum's your gran and your trainers are dirty.
Your mum's your gran and your dad's a matty, mate. And just run off laughing like a little
You get
kid.
free school meals, or by the way, your sister's your real mum.
Oh shit, man. That's funny. But yeah, I sort of resent, you know, the getting messages about, you know, the fact that my DNA is now linked to people. I reckon I should. I must be able to log in and remove myself so that people can't discover me.
100% you'd be allowed to do that, I reckon.
Yeah. I just need, so I'm talking about this. I can probably just do it in 2 minutes after this bloody podcast.
Just click on unsubscribe.
Yeah. That's true as well. I wouldn't even get the emails. I just never even know when people are messaging me.
Yeah.
Right. Let's try this. Oh, this is a long question, man.
Is this Jagu?
Yeah, man, this is a long question. Last night, I was watching ITV's Catchphrase, as I have done every so often since childhood, and I decided it was the one TV game show I'd be able to smash more than any other because of how consistently good I am at solving all the catchphrases correctly, including the ones at the end in the pyramid. What TV game show, past or present,
including the ones at the end in the pyramid.
Yeah, all right.
Added that. No one knows what that is.
I know. I've not watched it in about 30 years. What TV game show, past or present, do you believe you would be most successful at? If you choose Mastermind, please state your specialist subject.
I don't know.
I'm decent at general knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, if I watch The Chase, I'd do all right, man. I'd back myself to sort of get through The Chase. You know, I wouldn't be taking a low offer. You know, I might be taking the one I've got, but I reckon I'd get a decent number on that to take a bit of money back to base. So, I reckon The Chase, I'd have a go.
I'd have a go at Mastermind, the UFC, I guess, but I'd have to kind of. Shout. I would have.
But you can even have. You can be specific as well. You could, you know, you're allowed to be like MMA from 2012 to 2000. You know what I mean? Like, you can pick eras.
The UFC's only been going since like '93 anyway. Like, and I've followed it since I've followed it since like '96 or '97 or something. But there's still a lot. You know, there's so much. I would have to kind of study a little bit first still, though.
Yeah.
But I don't know about right now what... I don't know, really. Nothing.
Yeah, it's hard. I try and, like... I don't know what my specialist subject would be. I reckon, given a little bit of research... You know, not research, what I mean is, like, refresher. Do you know what I mean? I reckon I could probably do sort of, you know... the Pogues albums, or, you know, something that I was well into so much that I just have to refresh my memory. Films like let me think of, like, you know, I could probably do Arnold Schwarzenegger films or something. It's something that I was just obsessed with when I was young. You know what I mean?
I reckon loved his films, man.
Yeah, exactly.
When I saw Terminator on at the, I saw it in the video shop. It was like in a co-op. You remember co-op would have like videos?
Yeah.
And like I saw Terminator, I just used to look at it after school every day. I just wanted to watch it so bad.
Yeah.
And like kids in school were like doing quotes from it, and it was a quality film. When we moved into a pub that my uncle owned, and my mum and dad ran it. Like, they managed it for a bit, and I'm gonna say 10 when we moved in, and because my parents then just worked every night. Do you know what I mean? From dinner time to after midnight. So my evenings then, I was just on my own, right? And there was a video shop next door to the pub, and we signed up. And my mum basically just said to the manager, any film he wants, just give it to him. Don't worry if it's like above his age. So I just, like, any grown-up film, any horror film, I'd just go in and get it. And my nights were just me watching fucking real, like, you know, proper grown-up films. So, like, I saw all of them, man, and it was amazing. Well, like horror films and stuff.
Yeah, I got really into horror. That was where I got really into horror. I'd say, you know, I'd back myself in Mastermind to do like a good sort of horror from like the sort of late 70s, because I got well into that late sort of 70s.
Did you watch Friday the 13th and all that?
Yeah, I loved all that. I loved all them original slasher films, man. Halloween,
do you remember
Friday the 13th. That's what I mean.
The Howling.
I love the Howling. I watched all the Howling films. Howling 4 was my favourite one. It was mad.
I loved Fright Night, I think it was called.
I loved Fright Night. I even watched the remake with Colin Farrell just out of pure nostalgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was that old one with... it was about a vampire, but Jim Carrey was in it. Like, really young. That was like... It had a number in it, like Transylvania 65000 or something.
Hang on a sec. Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Let's have a look, mate. Let's go right back to the olden days.
I didn't know it was him until I watched it years later.
So, let's go. What year do you reckon we're talking?
83.
Fuck me.
Could be before that, like, I probably watched it mid-80s.
Once Bitten?
Yeah, that.
It must be that.
Once Bitten. It definitely is that.
Oh, yeah, it is him. Look at him. It's a lady vampire. I've not seen that.
He's about
Is it a bit of a comedy horror?
A little bit, yeah. It was scary, though, when I was a little kid.
Because my first memory of Jim Carrey is Earth Girls Are Easy. Do you remember that? It was about some free aliens that come to Earth, and it's really wacky, sort of late 80s. I can't remember. Let me check. It's on here on IMDb. Who were the other guys in it? Jeff Goldblum. That was it. And Damon Wayans. Bloody hell. I loved it so much. I reckon it's aged so bad.
Do you remember that? The Fly.
Yeah. Well, Gina Davis is in The Fly. She was also in Earth Girls Are Easy. I've got a feeling they must have been around the same time because the casting's very similar. But I remember The Fly scared the shit out of me, man, when I first watched it. That was 86. Man. Yeah, bloody hell.
Do you remember Hammer House of Horror films? They'd be like TV, wouldn't they?
But I never really... They felt a little bit dated for me. Like, when I first got into horror, that was
like
why.
60s
the ones I really...
70s, innit?
I love that sort of, like, mid-late 70s slasher stuff. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Burning, like, all these mad... like gross films that were getting banned, you know, The Last House on the Left, all those. That was my sort of
Evil
total
Dead
era.
The Return of the Living Dead.
I loved it. First two, all three Evil Dead films, I loved. So yeah,
the first one was a bit of a comedy, wasn't it? It was a bit quite funny, wasn't it, and silly.
The first Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're all sort of tongue-in-cheek. Even the first one, like, it's not as... I think the second and the third really lean into the sort of... And the second one's a remake of the first, technically. But, you know, it's just redone and in the same place, same, like, main character. But it's much more tongue-in-cheek. And the third one is full-on just silly, man. He goes back in time, doesn't he? It's the Army of Darkness.
I don't know if I've seen that one, actually.
It's great, and there was alternative endings, and so it's one of the first films I remember had alternative endings, like, which I just loved. That, you know, you never knew which one you were watching.
A Nightmare on Elm Street was one of the scariest films, like at the time in my whole life. Yeah. Like for the time, now you watch it as shit.
Yeah, of course.
Back then, man, it was like really fucked with me.
Yeah, definitely. That I remember like loving number 3. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, about all the kids in the psych ward. So I used to love that, man. It's there was a real era.
My dad, when I was about like 10 years old or something, my dad would just get We'd go to the video shop and he'd get Scarface. Nice. And we'd come back and I'd just be sitting there, 10-year-old, watching this guy just get his head chainsawed.
Just a guy doing loads of
just
coke.
Taking it all in. Or like Once Upon a Time in America was a big film when I was a little kid as well.
Oh yeah.
That's an amazing film.
Yeah, it's a great film. I've only ever watched it once, years and years ago. I think I tried to watch it again recently, like on a plane or something, and then I just got distracted and I turned it off and thought, I need to put a bit of effort into this.
Yeah, my dad loved it. I feel like that's when he grew up around them times. Like he was old, man.
Yeah. He was around the old Henry VIII times.
Probably.
Here we go. Let's do this one. Oh, this is a long one as well. Bloody hell. Who's this from? Tim Bob. I'm known local. There's a lot of humble bragging going on in these questions.
My big dick, right?
Yeah. So, I'm known locally for being remarkably handsome and an incredibly good performance poet and raconteur who could easily have become famous had I not thought that it might cheapen the art, and so decided not to become a sellout and humbly declined the TV and radio offers, the big festival bills and publishing deals. Do you find it tragic that pure artists have to rein in their success because the general public don't deserve to witness the sheer beauty they have to offer?
Yeah, that's why I cancelled my gig tonight.
Yeah, man, just the people ain't ready for it.
They ain't ready for this kind of joy.
So, I
They
suppose...
don't deserve it.
But I suppose it differs. There are people that don't sell out. There are people that do. There's people that... Everyone's got a different view of what selling out is as well. To one person, selling out is, doing an advert for fucking McDonald's. Another person selling out would be doing any sort of form of TV or any form of commercial, whatever. Everyone's line is different. So I always think you got to play it, case by case.
There's the big Hollywood thing at the moment that Cat Williams and a lot of them are kind of trying to expose about. They try and humiliate people to kind of make it in Hollywood. They have to be humiliated. That Jocko Wink, is it? He come out naked and little things like that, or Kevin Hart dressing as a woman, or a lot of that. That's what Cat Williams was talking about. I don't know if there's any.
But
if there's any smoke without fire? Who knows?
I know, but yeah, I don't know. That doesn't.
It doesn't really make complete sense to me, though.
No, not at all. Yeah,
Chappelle
who? I don't understand. When they
and...
say who's making them do it? Who calls them and says you've got to do this?
I don't really know. I guess that they're saying that there's a cabal of a little group of people just running it all at the top, I guess. But I don't know what they'd get out of getting Kevin Hart to dress as a woman. What does that? Who cares?
That's what I mean. It feels a bit too close to Illuminati nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's. There's a whiff of that coming off that.
There must be some shit going on though, up the top.
Yeah, but
whether it's that or
I
not.
always think it's way more financial. It's just rich cunts pulling the strings to try and.
But I don't know, humans
sort of manipulate
all power
economies.
corrupts, doesn't it, though? I bet there's some pervy shit up there, though.
Oh, there's definitely pervy shit, but I don't think they'd be so, if you're going to be a perv, man, but I don't think they're going to be I'm going to get an actor to wear something funny to an awards ceremony. It's such a weird,
yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Why? What would be the reason for that?
Exactly.
And, how powerful would that be? That wouldn't give them any power over them.
Yeah,
but who knows?
I think, yeah, so I don't know. I feel there's everyone sells out in a different way, or they don't, or whatever. But there's very few, people that, some people aren't sellouts even though they do every bit of mainstream stuff. Just because take a good example of someone look at comedy. Mates of ours, people like Rob Beckett is a great comedian, but he's also a really good mainstream TV personality because he's so likable. He's so charming. I don't think there's anything Rob could do that would feel like a sellout because he is just
it's
Mr.
the thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's we're getting on stage and telling jokes anyway. What? I mean, why is that less selling? I don't know.
That's what I mean. Something exactly.
Show.
So someone who totally is just part of that mainstream world of TV and entertainment and comedy. I don't see why anyone would level anything at them that is, it's not purer to be. Don't get me wrong, there are people that are such pure artists they would never do anything, and that's admirable, but it's very rare. Most people that, you've got to be good to
those
be mainstream.
Those people are normally
success.
A bit fucked up, aren't they, as well?
Yeah,
though?
exactly.
Drugs and drink and...
Yeah.
Walking around all night with dirty hands.
Anyway, there's that one.
Simon and Munnery always feels like that to me. He's so kind of smart
he still had a couple of BBC Two series and stuff. He did
also
the League Against Tedium, and so people like that still got mainstream offers back in the day. You know,
Yeah.
when TV was a bit smaller and comedy was a bit smaller, you know, there was wild things going on telly. Bloody Jerry Sadowitz got that couple of series on Channel 5, and, you know, would you say he's selling out doing that? I don't think Jerry Sadowitz sold out for doing a bloody panel type show on. You know what I mean? I think it's all a bit of a sellouts. Normally, it's when somebody comes from a place where if somebody says, imagine somebody's seminal routine is against advertising, and then 2 years later they're advertising for
like
big
Bill
corporations.
Hicks,
yeah. If Bill Hicks had done a fucking advert, whatever, that you could say, I can understand why people would level the word sellout. But I think on the whole, most people aren't so specific in what they're talking about that it feels like that. Here we go. Colin says, I ruined a jumper this morning. What's the best thing you've ruined? What's the best thing you've ruined?
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
Crashed a couple of cars, I guess.
I mean, that's pretty big.
Yeah, I had a company car. I had it 7 days. I was so excited to get it. It took me a year to hit the target. Like, the amount of sales I had to get in, and I got the car. I had two sons at the time. I was only in my early 20s. I got this brand new car. I had it 7 days, and I wrote it off. Drunk.
Man, brutal.
And I got arrested and went to prison. I was so gutted.
Such an escalation. No, that is insane.
I was so gutted.
Yeah.
I just felt, you know, when you feel physically sad and gutted, like.
Yeah.
My kids didn't even get in it. You know what I mean? I was excited.
Man.
I was going to pick them up in it.
Yeah.
And I just went. I went to up the creek actually.
To visit you in prison.
Well, they did. They didn't actually know I was in prison, but we did have to move Christmas Day back to like early January. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man, that's a real killer, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I ruined a marriage, my own marriage, my first marriage. So I've ruined something that's quite big.
But that takes two, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I did the heavy lifting.
You and the bird you cheated with.
I did a lot of the heavy,
takes
the
you
hard
and the
work
brothel. I mean, you did a lot of the carrying.
Yeah. You know, sort of. I'll step up and say I did the lion's share of that. This week marked International Men's Day and Equal Pay Day. What unrecognised group or thing would you create a dedicated day for?
It's got to be white people, innit? I might do a sponsored race. I'm doing the London Marathon next year for whites. I just want to race.
That's it. Not even. Don't say anything else. Just the word whites. Don't even say any more. Just leave it at that.
Doing a Just Giving page. This is for the white race.
White History Month. We should have White History Month.
Yeah.
What unrecognised group? I don't know, man. I don't know about any of these. I never know when any of them are.
I don't know, like war veterans, I guess. Something like that. They're not unrecognised.
They probably have one. I reckon they probably have one.
There's a big homeless problem though in London, isn't it? And a lot of them, I don't really know. I've heard this. I've got no research, but someone was saying that a lot of them are like ex-army vets with like PTSD and stuff.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know though. They all look like a bunch of tramps to me. No, I think I'd do it for them.
Oh God! I just realised there was another part of a question that we missed, which was about something I don't know, but I reckon you might, because you're a bit more up to speed on the online.
Is it about pussy?
Ding dongs? No, it's about can we get the official TVI response to the controversial new Jaguar rebrand? Do you know what that refers to? I've got no idea.
No, what, the car?
Yeah, it must be.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't reckon they've rebranded the animal. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, so our official response is, we don't know. We are dum-dums.
We don't know nothing about that. I don't know. They must have changed the jag. I was going to say the leopard. It's obviously a jaguar.
It's turned into a trans flag and everyone's gone mental online.
A rainbow Jaguar.
Have you bagged any Black Friday bargains? I haven't. I've got a few in my Amazon basket at the minute.
Not yet, I
Christmas
haven't,
presents,
no.
man. I've got a few little good Christmas gifts in my Christmas basket.
I bagged some hella good bargains on Vinted, but it's not Black Friday. I've got some nice new trousers. I've got Lululemon, Uniqlo, and I don't know what the others are. But I'm liking them, man. It's not Black Friday, though, is it?
No, I might buy a tablet. I've not got a tablet like an iPad or anything. I'm contemplating getting one this Black Friday. This week is Black Friday week.
Would you need one? Yeah, for like
not
travelling?
Really, but yeah, maybe because I don't take my laptop when I go away.
Just
anywhere.
To watch grot on the train.
Basically, I just need a grot. A grot
big
device.
Screen of grot.
Big grot device. That's what I'll Google it. I'll see what the best deals are on grot devices.
I remember when I got my new contract last year. You know, you have to ring your phone company and ask them to unblock porn now.
Well, I've heard this, but I've never had to do that.
It comes already blocked.
Does it? I've not
so
got a new
you have to ring
contract.
them up.
But I've had the same contract for, like, I just renew it, whatever. I've had it for about 15
I think,
years.
I changed contracts, like, maybe 2 years ago, basically. And you had to ring them and unblock it.
to a Muslim anti-porn one.
Oh, hi, yeah. Can I have your date of birth? Yeah, it's too old to be doing this phone call. Yeah, your date of birth, your name, your status.
Security, with your security words like your kids' names, and then you're like, yeah, can you turn off the porn filter? I'm in a hotel room in Liverpool. I'm trying to watch some absolute fucking grot, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My secret code is my mum's birthday. Yeah, cool. Can you turn it off? I literally want to start
Maiden name, yeah. Collins. That's my mum's maiden name, yeah. Her date of birth, yeah, I know all of this. Very close with my family. Can you turn off the felching block? I've got my pants down.
Oh, fuck. That's funny, man.
I'm trying to watch some cuckolding porn, amateur threesome. Can you hurry up?
Right, let's do a couple more bits and then we'll just wrap this up. Oh man, it's all got carried away. People are replying to each other. What's your best charity shop find? I
bought a nice shirt for £5 about 2 years ago. I've not really bought much in a charity shop. I was taking loads of stuff there, and I spotted a shirt, and I put it up to I'm going to have that, and it was like I really like it. £5.
Yeah, it's good. I've bought some mad things, man. I bought a CP company linen bomber jacket in Edinburgh back in May that was £8. And it's a £350 Italian linen jacket. Like,
that'd probably be $330 in a charity shop around here. They take the piss.
Yeah. If they knew it's horrible, but I saw it, and at the time I didn't even know how much it was worth. I just know CP Company. I quite like some of their stuff. It's a bit like Stone Island. It's quite a bit overpriced, sort of for what it is, but it's very nicely made. And so I just grabbed it, and then when I actually sort of got it home, I looked in the label and I saw it was like pure linen, and I was like, this feels like it's going to be pricey, man. So I went online, looked on their website, and found it for £340 or something, £350.
What? While you were in the shop, you went online?
No. I was back at the hotel. Just I liked it, and I thought that is mad cheap, and I knew it would probably be sort of a little bit of money, but I didn't think it would be anywhere near that. So I felt sort of guilty, mate. It was probably just some old deers picked it up and seen it, sort of a blue linen jacket, and thought it's 100 years old. It looks like quite an old vintage style, and she just whacked it on for £8. Like they could have got way more money for cancer research.
Wealthy if they're giving away that to a charity shop, though, eh?
Yeah, but I mean the charity shop could have made more money, is what I'm saying. Like they should have.
Yeah, fuck them,
put
man.
A bit more. Fuck them, RSPCA.
Fucking capitalism. She's like a shoplifter.
Fuck those blind people.
Put it on and then just look. Can I see near the light near the door? Yeah, and just bombed it on the road. Some old fucking charity volunteer chasing you.
That'd be next level, man. Thieving from a charity shop is just, that's rude, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
I don't think I've ever. I used to shoplift, man, when I was young a lot. I shoplifted a lot, but I
My mum
definitely
took me
stuck
back
to.
a couple of times to shops, man. It was
man.
humiliating.
That is, yeah, that's the end of the world. I once had a proper chase. I was once chased like the the start of Train Spotting when they're like running down the street, being chased. Like me and my cousin just robbed a bike shop, man, and like we just for some reason we nicked loads of bike gloves.
Nick?
I don't even know. Loads of like really high end cycling gloves. I don't even know why. We were just fucking up to no good. And then we literally walked out the door, and we didn't know they had sensors things in them, and the alarm in the shop went off, and we just dusted, man. And the security guard was chasing us
to the background. Alarm sound running.
Yeah,
fun,
man. And we're just pelting it down the high street, and like this security guard just running after us, shouting. And like, you know, we were probably, I reckon I was about 13 or something, and my cousin was 14, and we were just dusting it. And then finally there was enough of a gap that we ran down an alleyway, and then we hid behind, like under these sort of staircase thing, these metal stairs. And the guy came running into the alley and ran past and just couldn't find us. And we just hid and watched him walk past, man. It was so exciting. But like really bad.
I was so scared when I was getting chased, but I don't know. I kept getting into it though. It happened a lot actually.
Yeah.
I was such a fast runner. I was faster than my mates, and I think that might have made me a bit braver. I remember once. It sounds like something out of a cartoon. I was getting chased by a policeman, and I think he was and he's chasing me down Old Woolwich Road. I ran around the corner, took my jumper off, threw it in the bush, and walked back around the corner. And I just walked straight, and he just ran straight past me. It was so well done. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I remember another time I was on a moped, and there was the moped could go about like 25 miles an hour or something.
Yeah, I remember those little 50cc's, man.
Yeah, it was a little Honda Runaway, it was called, and it was and the policeman was about 2 meters from me, and it was speed bump road, so I had to kind of just go, but it was just slowly getting bigger and bigger, the gap.
Oh, man.
It was so exciting.
Funny.
I got away.
Yeah.
I want to do it now.
I think we should wrap it up because I'm busting for a wee.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
And but yeah, I reckon we try and get back in the studio this week. Things are now settled down. Twyla's back at school, so the life is returning to normality. So my days are starting to free up again. So yeah, let's try and do that. But other than that, thanks for everyone's questions.
Thanks everyone. Thanks to our patrons. Sorry about my fentanyl waffle.
That was good fun, man.
I was out of my box, mate. Lucky I don't drink.
Yeah, true. Just in general.
I've got that annoying personality. I'll just be blocked. But thanks everyone. Thanks for listening.
And we'll be back next week, and we'll speak to you again then. Thanks. Bye.